Well, we're here at 3D Experience World. My name's Greg Bao. I'm with SolidWorks. I'm here with Luke Goetsch today from Retail Space Solutions. He's here to tell us a little bit about his journey and Retail Space Solutions' journey on the 3D Experience platform. Welcome, Luke.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, love it. Thank you for joining us. So tell me about yourself and your background with Retail Space Solutions.
Yeah, so myself, I'm a mechanical engineer. I've been in the industry for about 11 years, the last 5 of which with Retail Space Solutions, where I'm a senior product development engineer. And then before that, I spent 6 years with a rubber molding injection company.
Well, welcome to SolidWorks World. It's great to have you here. Tell me a little bit about your background with SolidWorks, how long you've been using it, what all have you been doing with it yourself?
Yeah, so I've been casually using SolidWorks since 2009, and then I've been using it professionally since about 2014. So Retail Space Solutions and the companies that are underneath it have been using SolidWorks since they began, and have continued using it since they started merging in 2019 with our Commercial Zone Products brand, and then 2023 with our Trade Fixtures brand. But we had been looking for a way not only to collaborate better with our GIC team in India, where we have 4 engineers, but also a way to bring all of that CAD data from these 3 merging companies together. Retail Space Solutions and Commercial Zone Products coming in with their own Windows File Explorer based product data management, and then Trade Fixtures coming in with its PDM. So finding a nice clean way to merge all of those and keep all of our CAD in one place is a way that we're looking to expand our use of 3D Experience and have been actively migrating all of our data into it.
Rewinding to the beginning with the 3D Experience platform at Retail Space Solutions, tell us a little bit about how did that all come about? How did you find your way to the platform? What problems might have been going on that you were trying to solve with it?
Yeah, absolutely. So the company was starting a project that's now released and available to customers called Shelf Hero, a freezer-based retail merchandising system. It was an enormous undertaking that was going to require a lot of resources, both here on the domestic side as well as with our GIC team in India. And the problems that we were having, and we'd been having collaborating with those 2 teams, was based on our Windows File Explorer CAD data management. They were having to come in with a VPN, and the latency issues were so bad that they were having to download copies, work on it, and then re-upload it back in. And what we had a lot was a lot of great work being done on both sides and then overwriting each other at the end of the day. So we needed to find a way both to decrease their latency issues and make sure that they were working on the actual file that we were working on, as well as just to kind of eliminate some of those gaps that were making it really hard for them to work on it in the first place. And so we actually got some promotional stuff from 3D Experience through our old reseller. They're now Ellison, but they were Graphics Systems Corp before. And they introduced us to the platform. We wrote up a business case. We got it approved. And then in late 2023, we actually got it approved, and we started being taught that platform and starting to integrate it into our new product development process. Specific for this project at first, but is now our standard for any new project, starting right in the platform, which is incredibly helpful.
That's great. I mean, we hear a lot about users trying to collaborate globally, like you're saying, following the sun, trying to work while your counterparts are sleeping and they're doing the same, right? So it's great to hear that kind of success and being able to collaborate. We hear that a lot about errors that might have been happening with whether it's Windows or maybe PDM, people trying to check data in and out, and just that trouble trying to keep all of that operating smoothly is it's a big IT challenge much of the time. So do you have any idea of, how much time you saved, by solving those problems and turning on the platform and being able to collaborate then with your counterparts?
I can say the ROI would write itself based on the time that we've saved. We had instances where up to 2 days worth of work was getting rewritten, or even just lost save errors, things along those lines. But it's also saved us a lot of time in the United States as well, because even just saving to our servers through our VPN here in America, we were saving large assemblies or large complex parts, and it would take forever to save. You would just see the blue ring just going forever and ever. And even on local saves, or local being, me being in Milwaukee and just saving, we've seen those save times go down significantly, and also opening times go down significantly. And for our GIC team, because of the way that the server layout is for 3D Experience, they're seeing the exact same latency that we are. So we no longer have that disproportionate amount of time for them to open and save documents.
Mm-hmm.
And neither do we.
That's awesome. That's terrific. So you mentioned one of the companies that came into your family was on PDM.
Yes.
And you have since migrated them. That is a platform?
Yeah, so our Trade Fixtures brand came in with their own independent data in 2023 with their PDM. And we maintained that for a little bit, but like I had stated, our goal was always to find one place for all of our CAD stored. And so that solution was right there in front of us and already being used by 2 of our companies, and that was 3D Experience. So with our new and current reseller Go Engineer, we actually worked with them with the migration assistant.
Yep.
And we maybe 10 weeks, most of which being just getting all the IT permissions granted and all the permissions and access things going. We were able to, once executed within 48 hours, bring, I think it was 3,500 files from Trade Fixtures directly into the 3D Experience platform, where it was compatible and usable for our entire system. And the other thing that opened up too was previously we only had 3 PDM licenses and we only had 3 engineers that could access any of that Trade Fixtures data. But now all of our engineers are able to access it, save it, view it.
That's fantastic.
Yes.
And so is all of the data now from these 3 companies on the platform accessible to all of your engineers, designers, other people in the company?
Yeah, so Trade Fixtures is currently the only one that's 100% migrated. We're currently working on our other 2 brands. Those were in a Windows file-based system. There are really nice tools to do batch migrations for Windows-based systems into 3D Experience. Okay. But one of the things that we have been dealing with, especially just because things were merged, is we had a lot of things done differently between the 2 companies, and not all the CAD was accurate. Okay. So while those tools are available, we unfortunately have not been able to take super great advantage of them because we're spending so much time bringing our CAD up to where it needs to be and making sure that all of the data that we now want on our drawings is synchronized between all of them.
Got it.
So we've been doing a lot of manual uploads, but it's still been a great and worthwhile process.
It sounds like this is a pretty current snapshot up to today. So where are you going with all of this into the future? You have other companies around you that you're related to in the whole Marmon family. What else is going on with the platform and with your work?
Yeah, so for us, obviously, our big goal right now, which we're hoping to have done by actually the end of this year, end of year 2026, is to have all of our CAD, both new continuous improvement and old legacy data in the platform, and that will be our one-stop shop for CAD, no longer going into any of the file-based Windows Explorer data management. And then, as you mentioned, other companies have actually reached out to me. I work for a larger group called Marmon that Retail Space Solutions is underneath. And that group has over 100 companies in it. Yeah. And we all now have the same reseller, Go Engineer. We are actually on a national plan, and all of us are managed by one. And one of the nice things that we've had with that is they know what all of us are doing, and they can recommend to companies that I don't know or have not interacted with and tell them our story and the successes we've had with the platform. Yeah. And so we actually did have another Marmon company that is actively working on getting into 3DX right now, and they're actually in a very similar situation where they have some Windows-based file management, they have a PDM, and they have 2 US-based facilities and a team in that same Global Innovation Center in India that we do. And so they were able to follow our path pretty much step for step and see what we did with the lessons already learned, both with us and our resellers, as well as Dassault and SolidWorks, so that they're going to have a much more streamlined path into the platform than we did.
Maybe what advice would you give us at Dassault, or perhaps what advice might you give to other people, either who are exploring the use of the 3D Experience platform for their own companies, or maybe who have just started using it? What would you tell them?
So for Dassault, I would honestly just say keep going. Honestly, we have had such an interesting experience because the platform wasn't brand new when we got it, but we were at least we were told we were one of the earlier adopters of the platform. And so it went through such rapid growth from the time that we started using it to where it is right now. The platform is largely the same and functions the same and all the best things are, but it's had so many features added, so many bugs fixed from where we started just because of the development of the platform.
Wow.
And so what I would say too to companies that are looking to get into it and are maybe just starting to get into its infancy is that it is a learning curve. It's different than your Windows-based file management. It's different than a traditional PDM. But if you are able to get to your engineers with this platform and show them the benefits, so far the people that I have talked to and walked through this platform for have been excited when they see it. There's always a little bit of hesitancy for change or something new, but once that hesitancy breaks, they are so grateful that they just took the leap and kept growing with it, because it really does streamline so much and it makes your data more consistent, and the tools within it to not only manage the life cycle of your CAD, but assign attributes, make it more findable, make it more collaborative is invaluable.
Well, great, Luke. We really appreciate you taking a few minutes to tell us about the journey that you guys have been on. We thank you for being a customer, and we certainly look forward to following along and what happens next with your journey.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, love it. Thank you.